Hi, so our next grammar lesson, we're going to be using adverbs to compare. That's a little bit different than what we've done before. So we're going to be looking at taking adverbs and using them for comparative and superlative purposes. So let's peek at our page just for a quick second. I'm going to share my screen. So I'm going to start by writing my name at the top. For most adverbs that end in ly, okay, this is not for every single one, but for most that end in ly, we can use more to compare two actions and most to compare three actions. So I'm going to put a number 2 up above here so that we know that this is 2 and this is more than 2. I call it 3 plus. So if I wanted to say, if I'm comparing two people doing something quickly, I would say more quickly. If I compared three people or things doing something quickly, I would say most quickly. Skillfully is our next adverb. Comparing two people doing something really well, I would say more skillfully. Comparing three people, I would say most skillfully. Easily, if I were comparing two, I would say more easily. And if I were comparing three, I would say most easily. So here's an example. A horse runs more quickly than a human. So we're comparing horse and human. So we're going to say more quickly. Cheetahs run the most quickly of all animals. So because it's of all animals, there's three or more. There's quite a few more than three. We're using most in front of quickly. Okay. So we're going to do all of these together because I think this can be a little bit challenging. We're going to write the form of the adverb shown in parentheses that correctly completes the sentence. So again, we also have to remember to look to see if we have two things we're comparing or more than two. Do you think turtles can swim than frogs? I have two right there. So I'm going to use more quickly. The third doctor cared for the injured newt. And we have skillfully. So are we going to use, we have a third doctor. So I would probably say most skillfully because we're looking for three. Most skillfully. Jason handles the salamanders than Bill. There's two. So we're going to use more carefully. I'm sorry, I forgot to write skillfully. More carefully. Of all the helpers, well, that's probably going to be more than three. Aiden works the most quietly. We're using most because there are probably more than three helpers. Alan identified amphibians easily than Mitsuo after taking a class. There's two, right? So we're going to say more easily. So when you hear someone mistakenly flip these two, more and most, it's pretty easy for it to sound not quite right. So this is one of those things when people do it, it sounds like they're speaking improperly. So it's pretty easy to catch mistakes. That doesn't mean that you can't make mistakes, right? Like even if you know how to use these two, sometimes it's easy to flip them, especially when you're writing. Usually when you're speaking, you hear it and you correct yourself. But if you're writing, sometimes it's easy to make the mistake between more and most. All right, I hope this helped you to understand comparing with adverbs. And I will talk to you later. Thanks for joining me.